For today's basketball activity, I'm going to ask you to get a pen and paper and write down the instructions. I will post the instructions, what you'll need on the side while I'm going over the instructions. Then write it down, go outside, do the activity on your own. You won't need the device at all. So the first thing we're going to need is a basketball, 2 cones, a timer if you have it, a stopwatch. If you don't, I'll add an extra timer at the end of the video, or extra timers at the end of the video, and you can use those as well. It will also help if you have a hoop, a basketball hoop. If you don't have one, no problem. We're going to work on some shooting form anyway. Alright, the first activity we're going to do is put those cones down. Put them about 5 good steps apart from each other. And we're going to warm up just by dribbling around the cones in a circle all the way around, right hand only to start, just for 1 minute. All right, after you do 1 minute of right hand around, put it in your left hand and go around for 1 minute, all the way around the cones in a circle. After you warm that up, we're going to do some crossovers. Just come between the cones, set that timer for 1 minute, and it's dribble, cross, dribble, cross, dribble, cross, dribble, cross. On those crossovers for 1 minute. Then you'll go back to the cone, work on dribbling out to that cone, and then pulling it back. So straight out with one hand, doesn't matter which it is because you're going to do a crossover. Switch to the other hand. I've got my arm bar out. Helps if you have your arm bar out. So every time you get back to that original spot, cross over and go out. You're going to do 2 minutes of that one. So 1 minute of dribbling around with your right, 1 minute of dribbling around with your left, 1 minute of crossovers, 2 minutes of working on going straight out and back, then low crossover, do it with the other hand straight out and back. Now we're going to incorporate a shot into our activity. If you don't have a basket to work on, anytime you go in or go for a shot, you're just going to work on your form. I'm a lefty, so the ball will be in my left side. When you shoot, the shot comes from both your arm and your legs. Your offhand is simply just a guide that's up there on the side. But when you shoot, remember, you start with that ball in the pocket. You've got your arm in an elbow, in an L right here where your elbow bends 90 degrees. It's above your knee and your toe for your, above your shooting foot, excuse me. So I'm a lefty, shooting foot is my left side. My elbow is above my knee and my toe on the left side. Offhand just supports, and when you shoot, you're extending up all the way and grabbing a cookie out of that cookie jar at the top. Let me grab that basketball. So when you shoot, when we do any drill right now, if you don't have a basket, no problem. Get to where you need to be, pull up and take a shot. Use your legs as well like a spring to shoot that basketball. First thing we're going to work on is dribbling to the basket and finishing with a layup. Start behind those cones or at least 5-10 good steps away. Dribble all the way to that basket. Take your layup. You're going to do 1 minute on the right side and then 1 minute on the left side. When you're on the left, use your left hand to get to the basket. When you're on the right, use your right hand to get to the basket. So 1 minute each of those, okay? Now you're going to reposition those cones. Put one kind of close to the basket, the other a few feet out, straight onto the hoop. Because what you're going to do now is go in with one hand, do a crossover, get square to the basket, and take your shot. When we say square to the basket, we mean your toes, your hips, and your shoulders are all facing the rim. So it looks like this. For 1 minute, you're going to dribble up with your left, cross over, get in position to shoot, and take that shot. You're gonna do that for 1 minute. Then you're gonna switch for 1 minute the other direction, still starting at the top. You'll dribble up with your right hand, cross over to the left, get in position. Notice my feet, my hips, and my shoulders are facing the basket, and take that shot. All right? Remember, if you don't have a ball, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna take that ball, cross over, get into position to that imaginary hoop, and just shoot it in the air. So 1 minute of going up with your left, cross over to your right, get in position to shoot, take that shot, and then 1 minute on the other. So now we're gonna work on going around our defender and then still being in a position to shoot. Going across the key and still being in a position to shoot, not just throwing up a shot that's backwards. I'm gonna take that cone, maybe move it a little further out now. I'll dribble up to the cone. I'll dribble around through the cones like this, and when I go to shoot, I'll make sure I'm square to the basket, toes, hips, and shoulders. We don't want to come around and throw up a crazy shot in the air. You want to come around to a position where you're square to the basket. I'll do that for a minute, then I'll come up with my left, come around, go around this way, cross over maybe in the middle, and when I shoot, again, notice my shoulders, hips, and toes are square to that 90-degree angle that I want, 45-degree angle that I want on each side for a layup. So faster, it looks like this. I'll come up to my defender, go around, get in position to shoot. Show you again with that crossover, working on my right, come around this side, in position to shoot when I get to the basket. This time I'll go the other way. This time, let's see, where did I go the first time? So this time I'll come around this way, cross over, and when I shoot, notice I'm in position to shoot. One more time, if I don't have a basket at home, coming around, maybe a crossover in the middle, in position to shoot, and then working on that shot in the air. 1 minute on each side. The last thing we're gonna do will be a 2-minute exercise. We're gonna work on a layup on each side, grabbing the ball out of the net as it goes through. If you're feeling confident, use your right on your right side, left on the left side, but I'm always getting square to the basket when I shoot. I'm not taking a crazy toss in the air to try to make a shot, but I'm always getting square to the basket when I take my shot, and it'll be 2 minutes of going back and forth each side. All right, that's your basketball activity for today. Thank you for joining me. If you have time, go through it twice. Have a good day. Stay active.